Um, when it comes to adapting, right? Do you feel like the chameleon mentality is kind of the way to go? Or is it like, no, I can still bring my own zest, my own flavor into a situation?
It really depends. When I was in Africa, I really had to shield the fact that I was gay from any version of my identity. And these young African men would ask me, like, where's your wife? Are you dating anyone? And, I would either quickly change the subject or I would just have to lie and just be like, no, right now I'm single. I don't have a girlfriend. And, I worked so hard in my younger years, right? Like when I first started realizing I was different in that way, which was like, sixth grade on the monkey
Okay.
bars with the other girls. All the other boys were playing, kickball or football or whatever the heck it was in the field. So working from that into the teenage years of like eventually being really proud of myself and coming out a little late. All these young kids are like shooting out of the womb and instantly gay. But back in our time, Catherine, we actually had a true coming out where it was like, Mom and Dad, sit down. I have something to tell you. But that was very real. That was very it was very
Guide.
serious at that time.
Yes.
So
Yes.
in a place like Africa where I thought, you know what, I'm going to spend a year here on the trip that I just got back from, I really got to the point of not only really being bummed out about the identity piece, but also, witnessing the poverty, just being kind of grinded down by the heat, the lack of infrastructure, the truly depressing way that a lot of these people live their lives.
That was a
So
good.
that was a pivot for me. That was like, you know what? I'm not going to force my way through Africa. I'm going to go where I feel happy.
I think that that was in watching the travels and realizing the different level, like the way that you communicate online when you're traveling will vary from place to place. And I know West Africa was one of the most challenging places for you to spend time. And I'm guessing the decision at some point was a little tough of like, did you ever feel at one point like, well, I'm like quitting? Or were you like, no, I am protecting all of the things here, all of the things, and I'm just going to move on?
Yeah, I think I felt both at the same time. And you just eventually have to be okay that your outline doesn't always go according to plan. It's one of those things where you have these goals, you can shoot for the stars, and sometimes once you're kind of in the reality, when you're in the trenches, you're sort of realizing like, you know what, this isn't what I dreamt it was going to be like. I'm feeling badly in some way, shape, or form. And I kind of felt inappropriate backpacking jauntily through West Africa. It kind of felt insulting to the people, and maybe I'm being a little too like intense about that, but after a few months, I was like, I should be like doing some good here. I should be giving back. And I did do a little
You did.
GoFundMe for a family in need. Long story short, he ended up being able to purchase a used car thanks to my family, friends, and strangers who contributed to this campaign. Now he is a taxi driver in his community. He's the eldest of eight siblings. His father had just had a heart attack. So, that felt very good. But then I was like, you know what? That is one dude out of millions
Right.
in that little region of the world. Like, he wasn't even in the poorest situation, and his situation was terrible. So, yeah, Africa really dug deep inside of me, and maybe I need to kind of channel that and go back, having signed up for, a volunteer opportunity, like something serious where you're like giving water to a community or building homes or schools or being a teacher. So it's not like I'm never going to Africa again because it made me uncomfortable. It just really felt like maybe I didn't approach this place the right way and I need to get out and rethink it a little.